In my last video, we looked at intervals, and we were looking at increasing and decreasing intervals. And just a reminder that the interval, when I'm looking at for increasing or decreasing, I'm asking what input of x causes the function to increase or decrease. So let's look at this example over here. We're going to look at example number 9. Zoom in so we can get a nice, good look at it. Okay. So I'm going to look for my increasing interval. So I'm thinking, where is my function going up? Now remember, this function starts way over here. It looks like it's flattening out, but it's not. So this is actually going up. It's still going up. It's still going up. It's still going up. In fact, it looks like that function goes up forever. And actually, it does. If we were to go end to end with our ruler, we would see that we have some sort of positive slope. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So that whole function is positive. So then let's look at our increasing interval. So where does it start and where does it end? So if I'm going to start at the far left, remember it doesn't start here at -5. This is going forever to the left. And it's just such a slight coming up. So it actually starts way out here. So way out here is actually -infinity. And it keeps going, keeps touching the function, it keeps touching the function, it keeps touching the function, it keeps going up, and it keeps going up forever. As we go out this way, we get to positive infinity. So as we can see, it's our entire value of x. It's everything. So how do we write everything? Well, we're going to use interval notation. So the place where it's increasing, we start at -infinity. We can never reach -infinity, and we go all the way to infinity. Okay? Remember, this is not a point. This is telling me that my x starts at -infinity and includes every single value until infinity, because every single value of x creates a function that keeps going up. Now let's look at a little bit more complicated example. Let's look at this one here. So we can see there's a lot going on. We have no arrows, which makes it, in a way, a little bit easier, I think. So let's talk about increasing. So where is this function increasing? Well, here it's going down. And then right here, at the minimum, it starts going up to the maximum, and then that goes down, and then it starts going up again. Okay? So I've just highlighted the parts that are increasing. So let me do what I did before. We're going to put a number line, our x value here, because that's all we care about is our input. Okay? So it's like saying, how much money do I need to make? How much time do I need to work in order to make more money? So it's the amount of time I put in that helps me to make more money. So as I'm holding my ruler, I'm going from left to right. I have to look at my x values because that's what I'm concerned about. And it starts right here at -3. So I'm going to put a mark right here at -3. I'm going to mark that -3. And I keep going until I hit, we're going to just, that may not be exactly on 0. So we're going to kind of like estimate it. So we're going to say that that's, we'll use a decimal. We'll say that that's -0.1 or something. Okay, because it's not exactly 0. And so that all is my yellow. That is my increasing interval. So that's a plus. Okay. You could also highlight that section on your x-axis because that's what we're looking at. Okay. And that part is a plus. And then when I look again for increasing, I'm sliding my ruler and I start the increase. It looks like it starts to increase right here at 3. And it continues to increase until 4. So that's another increase. I can take my yellow and I can highlight that part as an increase. It's the same thing here on my x-axis. That's an increase. So if I were just going to do my increase, I start at -3. So I start at -3. I go to -0.1. And then I begin again at 3 and go to 4. So those are the intervals of increase. Okay? So this is an interval. Those are intervals. This is one interval, and this is another interval that causes the function to increase. Okay, so where it's not increasing, it looks like it's decreasing. So decreasing here, I'm going down. Decreasing here, I'm going down. Okay? So when I'm looking at where am I starting, it says I'm starting right here on my decrease at -5, and then it switches at -3. So that's my decrease. So I'm going to put a minus, meaning going down. So this part is going down. If I were just marking on my x-axis, it's this part right here is going down. And then the other place where it's going down, it looks like it starts right here at -0.1, and it goes all the way down until I get to 3. So this part here is negative, which makes sense. It's like a hill. You go down, you go up, you go down, you go up. And the corresponding part on my x-axis is right here. That is negative. So let's talk about decreasing. I'm starting my decrease at -5, and it goes to -3. I pick it back up at -0.1, and it goes to 3. So those are my intervals. Okay, so what I want to point out to you is that I'm only looking at what input values causes my function to go down, or what input values causes my function to go up. So when we're talking about increasing or decreasing intervals, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at all the values of x that cause that to happen. We always move left to right. So if we were looking at this one here, if I'm moving left to right, this whole function is going down. It starts up here somewhere. Okay? If I'm looking at this one, this function's going only up, and it goes up forever because of the arrow. If I'm looking at this one, remember I'm going left to right. So this is a negative slope here. So this is actually going down. But this one here is a positive slope. So this is actually going up. And if we know that this is not a function, but we can still talk about negative and positive intervals of sections of that. So that's intervals. Remember, it's not the same as domain and range, but the process is very similar. Oh, the last thing I wanted to note to you is on interval notation, we only use the parentheses. We don't have to worry about the brackets.